In this age of Aquarius that we're in, with more access to information than any generation before us, the thing that millennials are struggling with right now is being okay with not knowing. Friend, we have ushered in the age of technology. We've seen everything from encyclopedias and yellow pages to MySpace and even YouTube. And we struggle with not knowing or being the person that just doesn't know. It's almost like you are this extraterrestrial being if you are out of the loop and out of the way. And we're starting to see how toxic this culture is that we have created. I was sitting here thinking about what I was going to talk about in today's video, and I was really pressuring myself to come up with something meaningful or inspiring or a story that I could just pull from my lived experience. And the truth is, I had nothing to offer today. I had no concept that made me feel good enough that I would want to sit here and talk to you about it. And it kind of gave me a little anxiety. I felt my chest kind of like pressing in because I thought about the judgment that's not even happening, but I thought about the judgment in advance. And when I felt this level of anxiety come up within my body, I had to pause for a second because here I am speculating on something that has not happened when I actually have something to talk about. It's the fact that I don't know right now. And I'm okay with that. As a millennial, we have grown up just seeing things explode overnight. I mean, from beepers to cell phones. I mean, you remember the chirp, you know? And now we're over here, we've got these phones that facial recognition is insane. But we weren't given the tools to become observers and to figure things out and to explore more than we were given the tools to analyze and become critical thinkers and to define a way. Like, you can go on any social media platform and you will see people arguing over opinions. You will see them arguing over things that have not been proven to be true. And it's because no one wants to feel like they don't know. Where did we learn how to not be vulnerable and how to hold in the fact that we don't have all the answers so that we can invite in space to learn more? How do we move so far away from astronomy, astrology, and just these sciences that really ask you to think beyond the questions and come up with more questions to a place in society where we just Google and take that as fact? How did we freaking get here? As a coach, I have clients all the time come to me and ask me what they should do. What is it that I think about this situation? What would I suggest? And I do the same thing to all of my clients. I ask them, well, tell me what you think you should do. Tell me how you feel about the situation. Tell me what options you're weighing. I could give them my answer, but it wouldn't satisfy what it is that they truly want, which is a deeper connection with themselves and to unlock their inner knowing so that they don't seek anything external to validate what it is that they know or don't know. And I honor my clients who don't know things. I support them in exploring so that they can at least get closer to an answer if they don't get the answer itself. But everyone is not my client. And I think we are in a weird space in time where, again, we have all of this information. We have access to many things, many people with just a click of a button, but we're not asking enough questions. And we're not leaving space for people to not know and be okay. You'll see within these 100 days of posting that I go from just sharing perspective to sharing expertise to really being in a space where I am completely floored by myself because I don't have the answers. If we have more spaces where we could just talk about what it is that we don't know, where we're exploring, what we're trying to figure out, I feel like we actually get more answers that way. Like, I've seen the alternative. I've seen us argue constantly online and in person about things that we're not experts in, but since we have access to information, it gives us this position to have expertise. I define expertise as just like an incredible amount of lived experience coupled with studied, observed hypothesis. And we seem to have a lot of experts, way more people than who are at a beginner level or a novice level. I enjoy beginner level. I enjoy being a small business owner. I enjoy being an entrepreneur, figuring things out, because it positions me to make a ton of mistakes with no judgment, because I am just figuring things out. And with today's video and with all of the content that I make, I am quite honest about sharing that I am figuring life out. I just so happen to be doing it publicly, but a lot of people are struggling privately. And the more I post content, the more I get feedback from people saying, oh my God, I feel seen. This sounds just like what I'm going through right now. And I'm like, man, why are these people not talking about this so that other people feel less alone in the world too? I create content that resonates with me because I know it connects to someone else. Like, one person out there has to be just as out of the loop about this concept as I am. And I want to know who that is. I want to find more people who are millennials who are not afraid to say, I don't know, or I'm exploring, or I am currently figuring it out. I want to know what conditions it will take for us to get to a space where there are more communities of people who are figuring it out than there are communities of experts. Because having expertise because you've gone to school or taken a course or studied under this person does not automatically qualify you as the most knowledgeable. I want my knowledge to come from living. I want it to come from failing forward. I want the experience that comes from getting my hands dirty and being in community with people who are like me and who aren't like me. And I want it to be more normalized that it's okay to just not know. I have been called to create space for people who are in transition seasons, who are in the in-between, who are not who they were, but not yet who they're becoming, and open the space for them to be their vulnerable, pure selves so that they can take the time to pause and reflect on where they are, to shift their mindset because they're in community with people and they're talking and doing, and guide people to pivot into more aligned versions of themselves and their lives. I also coach one-on-one if community healing is not your vibe right now. So if you're looking for a space where you can drop your titles, drop all of the letters after your name, hell, you can leave all the masks at home so that you can just be in all of your uniqueness and have the space to figure things out, I want to encourage you to use the link in the description and book a free discovery call with me so that we can just walk through where you are, friend. Because what is hurting us is pretending that we know more than we do. It's hurting us to be so fixed on what we think we know that we don't have an open mind to what could be true. It is hurting us to not see that there can be multiple perspectives that exist for a situation. When you release the need to know, you open yourself up to a world that is more expansive and bigger than you've ever imagined. And millennials, we have to get it together. We've got to get out of the habit of knowing and start tapping into just being an observer, just watching. And ask more questions than you make statements, because that is how you actually get to your conclusion. That's how you get to your answer. There are so many people making content right now thinking that they have to put on, that they have to know the answers. They are so afraid to just be someone who doesn't know. They'd rather pretend than be honest about not knowing. Crazy, right? So yeah, let us strip away the armor that we've built around knowledge and access to information, and let us step into a space where we're just saying, hey, my name is Kenisha and I don't know, and seeing what that does and how that feels for us. I have worked for many corporations, I've managed many businesses, and I have built beautiful teams. And there is so much that I have no idea about, and I am so far from pretending that I do. It doesn't matter what your titles are. It doesn't matter how much work experience you have. Hell, it doesn't even matter how old you are. In this season, it's time to be honest and say, I don't know. And allow space for the answers to show up without you rushing to a conclusion. Speaking from a millennial's perspective, I see the damage and the harm that this is doing to us and to the generations that are coming behind us. And so I am encouraging you to rally with me, friend, and be somebody who is okay with not knowing. Because admitting that you don't know is actually a step towards knowing. This has been day 41, friend, and I'm just excited that I showed up today. I'm excited that I told the truth about not knowing what topic I was going to talk about, and I'm kind of excited for day 42. So I hope that you join me tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace.